think that's really it. I think that's all I gotta say right now. Yeah, I think I'm back on YouTube. I think I'm back. So I'm 30 years old now. Actually, by the time I've uploaded this video, I would be closer to the age of 31. You know, that's worse. But hello, everybody. It's been a while.
He said it!
How are you guys doing? You guys look great. I really like what you're doing with your hair over there. Yeah, that looks really good. I should probably do the same to mine. So yes, I have been gone for a while. 3 years? 3 or 4 years? 3 years. 3 years. Where the hell have I been? Well, I've been hanging out in TikTok a lot lately. I don't want to say that I basically abandoned YouTube entirely just to hang out in TikTok, but, that's more or less what happened, yeah. Though I do enjoy being on TikTok. It's a very easy platform to have your voice heard. I've reached 1,000 followers in a very short amount of time. And that was a pretty good achievement. I'm pretty proud of that. Thank you everybody who follow me on TikTok. I shit my pants today. Thank you for everyone who has watched me first on TikTok before you went to this video, and thank you to everybody who watched me before I went to TikTok. You know, probably wondering where the fuck I've been. I've also been streaming on Twitch. Hey, what would happen if I walked through that? Would I be like Electro from Okay, I'm fine. I became an affiliate in late 2019, and yeah, I have a pretty broken schedule. I would be streaming like 3 days a week, and then I would be gone for such a long period of time. Maybe not as long as I've been gone on YouTube, but you get the point. And then I would come back just for me to disappear for another long period of time. And Twitch isn't really the Twitch that I remember. Like from 2018 to 2020, that's when I was really focusing on Twitch. And then 2021 is just when they got extremely corporate. And they're a corporate company that genuinely feels like they attack their own users more than defend them. Twitch used to feel extremely personal. Like, I miss the days where chatters would do song requests, and you don't have to worry about if a song is copywritten or not because you can just enjoy the music and have an extremely personal, chilled out stream. Now it just feels too corporate where, like, not only do you have to be careful on what song you have playing in the background, but you got to make sure no brands from other logos are being shown as well. For example, and yes, this is mostly my fault, but this is a point, I was streaming the first Hellblade game, and during the intermissions and the BRB moments, I would play Highland.
Boy, have you lost your mind, because I'll help you find it.
And all of my VODs got deleted the second I finished streaming. And I got an email from Twitch saying that my channel is safe for now, but we recommend that you never do this again, and you be cautious for the next stream you do and what music you play. Hold on, I'm gonna put on my glasses for various amount of reasons. It's like makeup for dudes. Now, to be fair, the label company for Highland, they're pretty intense. And honestly, that music might be a little too unique to be used for intermission music for a live stream on Twitch. So that was mostly my bad. That was my bad. But I only did it because they are doing the music for Hellblade 2. And the way they worded that email really stuck to me for a while. Knowing that YouTube also acts like a bully to its own content creators as well. I was getting a little bit worried about coming back and making videos for YouTube. But obviously that's not the only reason why I avoided YouTube for such a long time. Most of the reasons are absolutely my fault. At the time, I was doing Arkham Knight Abridged, streaming on Twitch, editing for other Twitch streamers, and I was doing a podcast with a friend of mine at the time. Which normally sounds like a normal day of work for a regular YouTuber. I already did this, but I respect so many YouTubers now more than ever. After getting just the smallest taste of what they do for a living, so I got lazy, because I'm a chicken shit. That's what I've been up to during the years I've been away from YouTube. But now it's time for me to answer the question, why was I away from YouTube for so long? What drove me out of this platform that I first started creating content in? Did I get burned out? Yes. Am I humiliated that I kept creating series after series and announcing the other series that I'm planning on doing? And not only have I not finished any of them, I haven't even started some of them. Yes, absolutely. That was my fault. I have no one else to blame other than myself. One of these shows that I do, we'll talk about in a bit. Is it because my sex tape recently got released online? How did you know about that? Like I said before, I'm a chicken shit, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But I am going to start explaining a few things right now. talk about where we are right now and what's going to end up happening or not happening. So, let's address the biggest elephant in the room. Where's Arkham Knight Abridged? The last episode was nearly 4 years ago. I left you guys at a teaser without any payoff. What's happening? And this will either disappoint a lot of people or come as a shock to absolutely nobody. Yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I know. I'm sorry. Why though? Why am I not doing it? Well, a few reasons. Mainly, I would say that the last episode I did, episode 6, that kind of broke me. I'm very embarrassed by that last episode. You see, for episode 6, I went extremely meta with it. I was inspired by the show BoJack Horseman, a show that looks extremely comedic and has very silly moments and inappropriate jokes thrown around, but on the surface, there is something very deep, meaningful, psychological, and damn right fucked up about the whole show. And for some ungodly reason, I thought they could do a show like this about a talking horse. Then I could do it for Batman. I thought that I had the talent to do a BoJack-style Horseman type of series that is an abridged parody on a Batman video game. If you watch the last episode and you get to the final chapter of that whole thing, and you hear the final narration bit that I do, I tried to create a little segment like I was a troubled artist, so tortured by life, and I used to create content, and now I'm losing all the power, the faith that I had to create content. I'm so tragic. It wasn't anything like that at all. I was just a 26-year-old dude who was just really, really down bad. I foolishly at the time, and sometimes now, all the social media accounts that I have, I sometimes turn it into a public journal, and I would rant and vent about various amount of issues that I struggle with, and I always left like extremely like fucking generic sad boy shit to say. I guess at the end of the day, I'll never succeed. I don't deserve anybody, and I don't think I'll ever be loved properly. Everybody has dreams, ambitions. I just want to be happy. I just want to be fucking happy. I publicly kept having emotional breakdowns online, to the point where it made everybody feel exhausted. I was too much of a chicken shit to legitimately go and face my problems. I instead wanted everyone to feel sorry for me. And that's fucked up. I thought that I was gonna be entering the broken artist phase of my life. I thought that one episode of Arkham Knight Abridged was unlike anything I've ever done before. And I was going to say, this is going to be the episode that's going to change everything. The first 5 episodes were one way, but now that we're getting towards like the meat of the game and the meat of the story, things are going to be different and gritty from now on. And I hated it. I hated how the episode turned out. Or at the very least, I hate that final chapter of that video. I think there's some bits in the first 2 chapters that I find really funny. The really bad parts about that episode make me cringe every time I think about it, and I'm horrifically embarrassed by it. A couple of my friends even said to me, "Hey, dude, you went really meta with it." And I was like, yeah, I know how George Lucas feels.
I may have gone too far in a few places.
But I was still going to do... Oh, God. I was still going to do episode 7. And that episode was going to be a tribute to the Adam West series. The idea that I had was the Adam West version of Batman and the very dumb Arkham Abridged version of Batman. They kept switching personalities throughout the episode. You would see everything through Adam West's perspective, and there's other people who look like they're from the Adam West show. That's where most of the skins would come in. Plus, I finally got the game on PC, so I was going to import a lot of cool skin mods onto it. While on the other hand, it would go back to the regular Arkham Knight's Batman's perspective, and everything would look normal and get a little bit weirder. Those were going to be the more normal bits and the more serious bits, while the Adam West was going to be the silly, goofy side of it. But there was one bit that I was going to stay being super serious and probably would make it the darkest bit of the episode, was whenever I brought up the character of Jason Todd. In the second draft of the episode, I wrote this very tragic scene where Joker is basically tempting Jason, referencing the moments in the comic book histories where readers had to call DC to see if they wanted to keep Jason Todd alive or dead. And he was tempting him, and how many people chose Jason to die. And then it would be like a few months after Jason's death, Joker lied about killing Jason, and he's just torturing him and keeping him alive. He sees footage of Batman running around with another Robin, like already moved on. And this was going to hit Batman with an overwhelming amount of guilt. Then when I got to the bit when Batman finally revealed to Tim Drake that Barbara Gordon was dead, it was at that moment I was like, oh my God, I figured out how to actually do Arkham Knight Abridged. I never should have tried to make this a meta series where I'm just making every character relate to me and basically write an extremely shitty emo song about my life, even though all things considered, people have it worse than I do, and I'm just an idiot. I should have just stuck with making a series about Batman. All this time, I was basically trying to copy other YouTubers I like. Like, in the other first few episodes, I copied the humor of, well, not copied the humor, but I tried to mimic the style of Team 4-Star in their Dragon Ball Z Abridged series. Or basically any other abridged series that people made at the time, I basically tried to be one of them. And when I was writing this episode and I was figuring out exactly what I wanted to do, where, yes, I could still make jokes, but instead of just being a full-on abridged parody, why not I just keep the jokes, keep it a parody, but do things a little bit differently? Maybe tell the Arkham Knight story that you were hoping that the game would tell. You know, maybe you can fix some issues you have with the game, but keep it just relating to Batman. Don't make it meta. You're not that talented to make it meta. The series really needed a makeover. Because even though episode 6 was very disappointing to me, I watched all episodes back to back not long ago, and I'm pretty disappointed by a lot of them. I know. It's very common for an artist to be critical of his own art, but I made a lot of jokes throughout the entire season that I just don't really find funny anymore. Like, that's not my style of humor that I have. A lot of them are just very crude, sexual, perverted jokes. Sometimes I would do stuff that only I would legitimately find funny, and none of them just really worked. A lot of gross humor too. A lot of moments of Joker just in the corner of Batman's mind, just beating his meat like it owes him money. There was even a moment where I had him say something. You know, it was just something clearly for shock value. And I had God say the N-word. All right, are you happy? Are you happy you got it out of me? Are you happy? Like, I didn't have God say the hard R word. No, I would never fucking say that. I just had him say the Lamar word. I would have said the gamer word. Well, I guess I can't really call it the gamer word because sometimes the gamer word involves the hard R. So I said the Lamar word. I mean, yes, it's funny in concept. God saying the N-word. That's ridiculous. But that was me who said it. That was me who wrote it. No one else made me do it. I didn't feel pressured into doing it. I knew exactly what that word meant, and I knew exactly what I was doing. Not to mention, it's the only word throughout the entire episode that is not censored. I mean, yes, technically that's the joke, but even though it is totally played as a joke, it's not something that I'm proud of doing. I don't think there's any place in the world for shitty jokes like that. I'm ashamed of it, and I was definitely ashamed by the time I was ready to do episode 7. But when I was ready to do episode 7, it was going to be entirely a rebirth of the whole series. Ready to give it another go. Be like, yes, sadly for the first 6 episodes, I didn't have it figured out, but for this one, and for the next few that will come after this, I think I was aiming the series to be like maybe 10 episodes, but I was ready to give it another go. And then, in August of 2019, I got pneumonia, and for that whole month, I was pretty much out of commission. Thankfully, though, I got healed. I put all my focus on the next few months getting better, but for 2020 will be better. That way, I can definitely get started on what I wanted to do with Arkham Knight Abridged. The 2020s can only go up from here. And so what could possibly go wrong? You know, it's a new decade, it's a new millennia, everybody, it's all new everything, a whole new start. Let's hell yeah. What could possibly go wrong? Everything. Everything went wrong. Goddamn everything went wrong. Obviously, we were hit with the thing. The glorious pandemic hit us, and yeah, that sucked. There were some pluses though. Even though I wasn't paying that much attention to my main channel, I was mostly focused on Twitch and working with other Twitch streamers. Nobody big or anything, but people with a higher follower count than I could ever dream of. And I made a podcast channel on YouTube with somebody who I met on Twitch. And my co-star was somebody who was a very good friend of mine at the time. I am not going to name any names. I am not here to cause drama. If anything, the main purpose of this video is for me to have closure with a lot of issues that I have with my YouTube and some other stuff, to own up to a lot of my mistakes. Like I said, this really bad thing happened around 2020. And yes, it took me a while to accept my faults and know that, I've done bad things as well. But I also understand that I went through a really shitty ordeal. And I didn't deserve any of that shit that happened to me. But it's definitely not worth bringing up old drama from, beginning to end. And it's not worth trying to take down somebody who hurt me really badly. That's not what I'm about, and that's not what I want to be about. To quote the great philosopher of our time, Taylor Swift, trash will take itself out on its own time. No, I'm joking. That was a joke. That was just a joke. But basically, like I said, I became friends with somebody on Twitch. And the more we got to know each other and, how close we felt, we basically felt like we were family. I even flew out of the country to hang out with them in person. It was a great time. And the community that they had, that then I slowly became a part of, was growing more and more and more. And that's where most of my attention was heading. And it was the happiest time of my life. Yes, there were bad days. Of course there's going to be bad days. There's always going to be bad days. But the good days that we had, despite everything that happened, I think about that every day, and I'm so thankful for those days. And it really killed me when I was slowly beginning to realize that I wasn't going to have these days anymore. The person that I'm talking about, I said that they were basically my best friend. But in 2020, I noticed a lot of changes were happening. Promise, I'm not going to get into any detail or any of the private details on what happened, and I blame myself for a lot of it. The bad thing that happened is we just fell out, and I did not handle it well. I mean, having a fallout with a best friend, not enough people talk about that. Everyone talks about breakups and like how bad a breakup is. Like, oh, I broke up with my girlfriend, my wife, or my husband and this. And breakups are hard, but they're fucking terrible. I've not had a good one yet. So far, all of them, 0 out of 10. I need a good breakup for once. But not enough people talk about how painful fallouts are with like someone who is your best friend. Because I feel like a best friend is somebody who really knows you. Like, it especially sucks when, say, if you have a best friend and you tell them everything about yourself, everything that you're afraid of, everything that keeps you up at night, make sure you were always there for this best friend. But when that best friend begins to turn its back on you and take all the problems and combine everything that you told this person that you were afraid of, or everything that you were, scared was going to happen, and use it against you, that sucks. And that's more or less what happened. But I know that I was immature during the whole situation. I didn't handle this well. I am ashamed, but I do accept that I was treated really badly during that time by people who I thought were my best friends. And all they did was just gaslight me into making me think like I was always the problem. Our friendship completely fell apart. And the worst part about the whole thing is that there were certain people in this group who knew my friend before they met me, and they were all cool and friendly to me, and I grew good friendships and relationships with them. After this person and I began to drift away, most of them, not all of them, but most of them unfriended me. I don't know if by design or if the ex-friend told them to do so. That really hurt me. That hurt me really. I felt very worthless during that whole moment. But what I mainly want to focus on is not them, but what I want to put my focus on are the people who stayed by my side during this time. It would be a little bit challenging when they would message me and tell me how much of a bad person that my ex-friend was. But the fact that they stayed and, I still keep in contact with them sometimes. I'm not a great friend because sometimes I don't always respond. But when I do, we play video games. We stream on Twitch together sometimes. It's a great time, and I'm very thankful for them. They helped me out through a very dark time in my life. Trying to move on from that whole thing was extremely challenging, but what helped was the fact that I was able to reconnect with an old friend group of friends that I really haven't spoken to for a long time. That Twitch group that I was in after I got basically kicked out of that whole thing, it made me realize that I took my other personal group for granted. But to them, it didn't matter. They welcomed me back with open arms, and they introduced me to D&D. So now every Tuesdays, I play D&D. And no, I'm not going to stream myself playing D&D because the hellacious, vile, deplorable things you would hear not only myself but the whole entire group say, mostly me, it would get my ass canceled immediately. So I'm going to enjoy D&D as a fun personal thing I do with my friends every Tuesday. Shout out to my D&D boys. Those are definitely a lot of the ups that's been happening, but you know, like always, there is definitely some downs.
It's still raining. Why is it still raining? I did what I was supposed to. That's not fair.
Sometimes I'm not that great on responding. Most of the time I say I'm too busy when really I just want to be alone. Because life doesn't always stop after you already had an extremely traumatic thing happen to you. Why not have another traumatic thing happen to you at the same time? Despite all the good that was happening after the really bad fallout I had another bad fallout. Let's just say it devastated me. I honestly felt like I was just the biggest fuck up in the planet. Not only am I completely obliterating any type of schedule that I had to make YouTube videos or keep streaming on Twitch, but I also drifted apart with two people that really meant a lot to me. I felt nothing. I had nothing left. And I will be honest with you guys, I felt like quitting after that. All of this happened after I posted my The Batman trailer reaction, by the way. Once that video uploaded, everything basically fell apart in my life. And I had the very nerve to end that video saying that I was back. I had plans to come back on YouTube, and maybe I was going to continue on with Arkham Knight Abridged. Maybe I was going to try something new. But after all this went down, I had nothing left in me. I thought about quitting YouTube. Me getting really, really sick with pneumonia. Me trying to come to terms that most friendships don't always last. And life just genuinely sucks. And, you know, on top of all of those, I also went through some personal loss, too. I had an aunt that died through complications with COVID. My grandma then passed away. And then I had a cousin who passed away of breast cancer. That was a big one for me. That was a big one for me. And then I had one loss that really just devastated me. And if anyone here has ever owned a pet, you know what this feeling is like. I lost probably my bestest buddy in the whole world. A dog that had so much personality in him. And somebody who I wish I made more videos on YouTube with this dog. Talking about my buddy Chopper. At the age of only 10 years old, he died of cancer. And we tried everything to keep that dog alive. But nothing was working, and we knew he was really sick and he was suffering. We didn't want to see him suffer like that. So he died peacefully in the vet room, saying goodbye and telling him how much of a good dog he was. And just like that, it was over.
Do you want outside? Or nummies? Which one? Which one do you want? Do you want both? Outside and nummies?
Yeah, hi. I'm editing right now, and I can't really put into words how much I love that dog. I feel like an idiot. I just wanted to take this time to say, because I didn't say it when I initially recorded this, and I'm sorry if I look gross. I look like hell right now. To your loved ones, and to your pets that are also your loved ones. All pets are loved ones. Tell them you love them and give them the biggest hug you can. Your dog may be very confused and very like, what is going on here? But I know they'll get it. I tell my new buddy, who I'll talk about in a bit in this video, I tell him that I love him every day. I hope that Chopper knew how much that I love that dog. Oh, alright, that's it. That's it. No more crying. No more crying. I needed to just let that out. That was really hard to put together. Really hard. I have a photo of him hung up above my bed, and that's always the first thing I look at every morning when I see him, because that is my absolute favorite photo I have ever taken of him. It was 7 in the morning, curtain was bright open, the sun was rising. I was slowly waking up, and I turn over, and that face, this face, is what I see staring at me. He looked high as a kite. He was such a vibe. He was unlike any other dog I have ever met. And I got him when he was 5 years old. He already had a family with him, and we don't know what happened to him before he got us, but all I know is the second I found him, I knew that was my dog. I miss him every day. That took a lot out of me, genuinely. He was a big deal in my Twitch streams. Everybody loved to see him. Just fat ass dog, just living the best life possible. I miss him. I miss him every day. As a matter of fact, one of the emotes that I have on Twitch is of his face, and I haven't gotten rid of that since I lost him. And there's not going to be one day where I'm not thinking about that dog. I did get a new dog. I didn't think I was ready to get another dog, but a few months after I did lose Chopper, I did get one. His name is Charlie. He's a little shit, but I love him to death. So he helped me heal. He helped me healing, but I still think about Chopper every day. And if there's an afterlife, and I believe there is, I'm gonna give him the biggest damn hug I'm gonna give him when I see him. So that was basically what my 2020s have been like lately. I started the 2020s at the bottom, and we're slowly approaching the midpoint of it, and I am fucking exhausted. So yeah, that's why I'm not doing Batman Arkham Knight Abridged anymore. If I could be honest, I just don't really have the passion to do it anymore. And a lot of the voice actors that were in the series, they've moved on too. And you know what? Good on them. Some messaged me saying that they couldn't do it anymore because they went on to go to the military. Or some just wanted to do other projects, moving on to big and better things. And you know what? That's fucking amazing. Life goes on. Nobody got paid doing that series. It was all just for fun. I wish that anybody who helped me out doing that series or doing the Joker series that I did, anybody who helped me with any YouTube video that I worked on, I wish them nothing but great successes beyond their years to come. Thank you so much for being a part of my absolutely terrible videos and having to deal with my horrific schedule. And I am so sorry to anybody who was looking forward to seeing that series conclude. Actually, before I filmed this video, I had a few people that would message me like, "Hey Rob, when are you going to do the next episode of Batman? I have this great idea where you should make Commissioner Gordon's butt hair speak French." Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But even though this video so far was mostly just sad and tragic and cringe at times, and listen, for anybody who is sitting through this video so far and y'all had to go through that, I'm really sorry if that was awkward. There is some hope at the end of the tunnel right now. I'm no longer going to focus on the bad things that happen in my life, and I'm not going to look at them as reasons just to keep myself down and get my life back together, damn it. So, when it comes to my YouTube channel, what's gonna happen now? Did I just make this video to say that I'm never gonna make a YouTube video ever again? No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I'm considering this video to be my rebirth. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I am 30 years old, but I'm not gonna spend my entirety of my 30s feeling defeated. I've cocooned in my own little world for far too long, and it's time for this fat, beautiful butterfly to spread its wings. There's a video that I'm working on currently about a documentary that I watched very long ago. I have to pee. Be right back. I got some video ideas that I'm planning to do, and one of them I'm currently working on right now. A video about a documentary that I've watched many, many moons ago, and it features some extremely heavy subjects like Hitler, World War II, the JFK assassination, Vietnam War, and even 9/11. All narrated by an extremely controversial character in history, Kevin Spacey. What could this documentary possibly be about? Simple. It's about Superman. So, I'm going to start working on that video after this one is published, and hopefully I'll have it released before Christmas, and I hope you guys like it. I have you fooled. You thought I was going to repeat the same mistakes I've always made on YouTube, don't you? Announced that I was going to be doing a series and then never, ever do it at all. As a matter of fact, I am halfway done with it. Look at that timeline. That is huge. What the fuck is going on over there? Well, hopefully I'll have it done before Christmas, and you guys will tune in and watch it when I upload it. I had you fooled again, baby. I'm already done. I already uploaded it on YouTube, baby. I have it private right now. I just gotta process a couple more things, work on a thumbnail. Then I'm gonna edit this video, which hopefully won't take me as long as that Superman one did. And then that video will be coming out this Friday, just in time for the holidays. And that's legitimately true. I'm not fooling you guys already. It is coming out on Friday. So stay tuned for that. Not to mention, it is my longest video I have ever made. Is it worth it? I twerk in the video. Let me repeat. I twerk in the video. When do I twerk? Well, you're gonna have to watch it and find out, so stay tuned. Anyway, so thank you guys for watching today's video. I'm really sorry that I've been gone for so long. I'm never gonna leave you guys again, but know that sometimes I just had to put myself together after I went through a lot of shit, and then I had to go through more shit before I fully figured things out. That's just how life is sometimes. I wasn't gonna let any of those bad things that happened to me define who I was. That's all I really had to say today. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Be sure to tune in on Friday to see that Superman video I'm doing. Trust me, I'm very proud of it, and I hope you guys like it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.